I'm going to answer this question right now. Should the Philadelphia Eagles bench Carson Wentz heading into their Week 13 matchup versus the Green Bay Packers in 2020? Should they bench Carson Wentz? I'm going to say yes. You need to bench Carson Wentz. There's no other way around it, people. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. You need to bench Carson Wentz. Now, I doubt that the Philadelphia Eagles are going to do it because they're pretty much tied to Carson Wentz based on his contract. It's pretty much virtually impossible to move on from Carson Wentz. They're stuck with the guy. Folks, Carson Wentz has been bad. Can Jalen Hurts do any worse than Carson Wentz? That's my mindset. Jalen Hurts cannot be worse than Carson Wentz. I will be shocked if he's worse than what Carson Wentz is giving you on Sundays. As we speak today, Carson Wentz is just not that good. He stinks. He's awful. I'm not saying he's going to be that way for his entire career. I'm not saying he can't turn it around eventually. But right now, the guy has played like garbage. He's been awful. Carson Wentz on the year, 58% completion percentage, 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, that leads the NFL, by the way. A 73.4 passer rating, 11 games played. Not to mention, he's got 10 fumbles on the year. Versus the Seattle Seahawks, this past week, a team that is one of the worst defenses in the entire NFL, Carson Wentz could not move the football. I understand there were some drops. I understand his offensive line has not been all that great this year. I understand this team is 3-7-1 right now. But people, you cannot tell me that Carson Wentz is not the guy to blame right here. He's just been flat out awful. I don't even think it matters if his offensive line is good. I don't think it's even going to matter if his wide receiver core plays better. Okay? He's just flat out been missing the throws. He's been making poor decisions. Over 13 of his turnovers on the year have been in Eagles territory. That's awful. How can Jalen Hurts be worse than Carson Wentz? And listen, you drafted Jalen Hurts in the second round. You spent a lot of draft capital on the guy. Maybe not a lot of draft capital. That's probably the wrong word to say. But you spent a significant draft pick on Jalen Hurts. Second round picks are hard to come by in trades these days. You spent a pretty, hefty draft pick on Jalen Hurts. Don't you think you need to at least see what you have eventually? Because when it comes to quarterbacks, unless they're trying to make Jalen Hurts a full-time backup, usually after about 3 years, you make a decision on whether you want to extend a quarterback to their fifth-year option. Okay? So, at some point, you got to see what you have in Jalen Hurts. He cannot be worse than Carson Wentz. And in all honesty, people, I think that Doug Peterson and the coaching staff and the players, I think they've lost faith in Carson Wentz. I really do firmly believe that. That might not be true, but that's what it seems like. It seems like Doug Peterson just flat out doesn't want to coach Carson Wentz anymore. It seems like he's done with the guy. It seems like he says, no matter what plays I call, this guy can't execute them. So I would start Jalen Hurts, man. This division is still winnable. This team needs a spark plug, and they need to upgrade a quarterback. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts is going to light the world on fire, but in Jalen Hurts' final year at Oklahoma, he was a pretty accurate quarterback. He made good decisions. He ran the football effectively. He scored a lot of touchdowns. He led Oklahoma to the playoffs. This is a guy that at Alabama went to 2 straight national championships. I don't think for 1 second the moment is going to be too big for Jalen Hurts because he's played in 2 national championships, like I said. He played a lot of big games at Alabama and at Oklahoma. Now, again, I don't think Doug Peterson is going to make this move, so, it's whatever. But if I were in Doug Peterson's shoes, I would hold Carson Wentz accountable. I would say, you're getting benched this week. We need to insert Jalen Hurts and see what he has. And listen, if Jalen Hurts plays badly, then you can go right back to Carson Wentz if you think that he's the guy. But listen, you need to hold Carson Wentz accountable. Part of the reason why Carson Wentz, in my opinion, is struggling and in over his head is just because he's not been held accountable. He's been told by a bunch of people, oh, it's the offensive line's fault. It's the wide receiver's fault. Doug Peterson sucks. Carson Wentz deserves a pass. When in reality, he stinks. He's not that good right now. He's been terrible this year. So that's how I feel about Carson Wentz and Jalen Hurts. This week, I would bench Carson Wentz. I would start Jalen Hurts because in reality, at this point right now, Jalen Hurts cannot do any worse than Carson Wentz. And once again, I would consider benching Carson Wentz in favor of Jalen Hurts. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juiciest Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juiciest Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.